everyone, and welcome to Bell to Bells. I'm Mr. Warren Hayes here today to conduct an interview right here. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel or on your favorite podcast application. We're very, very thrilled and privileged that you're giving us some of your time of your day so that you can listen to us here today. Have a little chat here with a real rising star of the independent wrestling scene. She's going to be wrestling at Zelo Pro this Saturday, October 17, at the Show Must Go On event. She's going to be challenging Laynie Luck for the Zelo Pro Women's Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very pleased and fortunate to have a chance to talk with Alex Gracia today. Alex, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much for accepting to come on. It goes both ways, right? I'm happy,
yes.
You're happy.
It's so good to have interaction too.
Right.
However you can get it.
However you can get, exactly. And I mean, you know, we know what COVID has done. We know what it's done to the independent wrestling scene, but you know, things are starting to open back up, right? Slowly but surely, people are having shows. We're just coming off the big collective weekend over in Indianapolis. And you yourself have been busy since things have been opening up. You've had a match on AEW against Penelope Ford. You've wrestled Thunder Rosa as well. I mean, the post-COVID in my humble opinion, Alex, the post-COVID situation is off to a rousing start for you.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping it's comeback season because it's been so down all year when it's like you were just so prepared for so many things. And it's like, I think it's really exciting because I feel like because things are starting to open up, like wrestling's just going to start banging again. And even like the few things that are opening, like people are just so excited and they want wrestling. So it's really cool because I think the wrestlers are excited as well as the fans.
I do think it goes both ways. I think you see a lot of that energy. Yes, of course the fans are excited, but you can see it you can see a little twinkle in the eye of a lot of wrestlers who've clearly been excited to get back into it, and I can tell you yourself are very excited to get back into it. But yeah, you know, I mentioned, you know, that you had a little opportunity with AEW. I have to ask, have you had any meetings? Have there been any more talks? A little more TV on a regular basis for you, Alex?
I mean, I think right now, just like with everything, it's like all I wanted. It's so funny. So I have this goal board, and one of them was AEW, like debut. And it's so funny because like I just saw all these goals, and I was like, I'm not sure if any of these are going to work out now. And it was just felt so good to like cross that off.
Right.
And I think it's one of those things too. It's like they're checking you out as a talent, but you're also checking them out as a company.
Sure.
Because that's somewhere where it could possibly be your home. And like all I can say from that is that everyone was great to me, and I really could see a lot of benefits from being there. I mean, like you just can reach out and be like, Dustin, like, can you critique this? And there's just so much knowledge surrounding you, and everyone's so willing to help because, like, of course, AEW's only been around for a year now on television, so everyone just wants to see it do good. And I think it starts with you as an individual and then going and working as a team. And I really felt like that team atmosphere there, which I'm all about because like playing team sports like all my life. So that felt really refreshing and like really motivating again to know that, oh, okay, like this feels good.
Right. And it's an interesting thing that you pointed out just as you were talking to us right here. The fact that you yourself, like they're shopping for you, you know, they're taking a look at you, but you're also shopping there. It's kind of nice to be in a position where you can pick and choose as opposed to, well, there's only one place, you know, right? It has to feel good for a wrestler to just have some options.
it has to feel good. I'm not quite there where I'm having like the options yet.
Fair. Okay.
But it's like I love wrestling so much, so I want to go somewhere where I feel good doing it. Like I want to be around people who love it like I do and like just want the product to be good. And yeah, like the goal really is to like be like, okay, I want to be in demand. And I think like while things are slowly starting to pick up again, I think that's when people's like eyes are starting to open again. So it's like, okay, like let's get down to business again.
Sure. The you say you love professional wrestling. I have no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind that you love professional wrestling. You've competed in 31 promotions so far. Last year you had over 50 matches. For someone who's just starting up, because you're fairly new to this. You're a couple of years into it. For someone who is fairly new, I wasn't kidding. You're literally on the rise. What is your secret to be working so much and doing so many things?
I really don't think there's a secret. Like I told myself from day one, like I'm gonna put my foot on the pedal and I'm not gonna let off. And I think it's just whether I started off hard, like just like training every single day, like okay, like my goal was let me learn something. I'm not leaving training until I learn something new and I want to perfect that.
Sure.
And so like when you're going and just building off of that and really just I think talking to people who have been there and have been in the position that you want to be in, like going and asking them for advice and actually following through with the advice they're giving you. And I've gotten so much advice on just like my presentation, whether it's from my gear or spend as much time on your entrance than like as you do like your roles. And so it's just really paying attention to everything and like really like working on promos. Like it's just following through to do it. Like if you have the opportunity to be around someone like who's has the knowledge, like you just need to be a little sponge and soak it all up, but then also follow through with it. And I think a lot of people, they'll hear things but maybe not always like follow through or keep up with it consistently. And like it really has to become like this obsession. Like you really seem crazy because I'm just like everything in my life I'm like, okay, like I got my new gear set, that was great, like I loved it. It seemed like people loved it. Like, okay, like let's design the next one. You know,
Right.
it has to be a continuous, like evolving growth.
Sure, that makes sense. And clearly, you're very interested in growing because you're a very well traveled wrestler. You've fought in Mexico, in Japan. You spent some time in Stardom, actually. Again, pretty impressive for a short career. I guess it's you. Not only do you want to learn, but you want to learn different styles from elsewhere, right? That seems important to you.
Absolutely. It's funny because I love to train, and so I think it's also special. Like I'm all about your journey and your story, and so I love like going to these places and kind of in my current matches now, like in the US, I love seeing like a little bit of like lucha inspired stuff or like stuff that I've learned like from Japan because I feel like it's like that's what's made me.
Sure.
And it's part of my journey. And so I think that's like what's so special too is like your wrestling's like always evolving and like where you're learning and all that. And like the way I've always entered every situation is I've never like expected anything, like whether I'm doing a seminar or I'm going to a promotion or I'm going like to a new company as prestigious as somewhere like Stardom, like I don't go and expect anything. Like my mentality is I want to go and learn as much as I can. And that's going to be like the win from me.
Sure.
And so after that, it's like you let your hard work and skills like speak for themselves. And I feel like that's when the opportunities do start to come because it's like you're not focused on the the opportunity, you're focused on like just being a better version of you.
That makes sense to me. That makes absolute sense to me. It's your first time wrestling in Zelo Pro, though, despite all your travels and everything.
Finally, this is the third time we've tried this.
Right, exactly. It's the match. Your match with Laynie has been postponed twice.
Yes.
You got to be ready for it, right? You got to be ready.
Oh gosh, like after the second postponing, I mean, like there was a worldwide pandemic that we're still in. But yeah, I had a long time to get ready. And so like when I was like, oh, we're finally going to do this, like all I was praying was, don't let this one get canceled. Because if anyone was going to get canceled, I was like, it's going to be this one.
Right.
So.
But yeah, it is happening, and that's good. I guess you've had time to study tape and whatnot. But how do you feel? How do you feel going into this match? I mean, Laynie's she's been a pretty dominant champion, and she as well. You know, her stock has been rising quite a bit. How do you feel going into this one?
She's amazing. We haven't had a singles match. We've had one singles match ever, and it was my Reality of Wrestling debut.
Oh, okay.
And so it was maybe a little over a year ago. And it was like, yeah, like later on, like we're both like, we've grown so much.
Mm-hmm.
And already there, it was like a super competitive match. And so now that it's actually for a title and it's at her promotion and getting over there, I think it's just like so many elements to the story that I think is super exciting. And I just feel like I have like this like fire lit underneath me because I haven't like been able to do anything all summer and like have the opportunity to like go like chase these belts and have an opportunity to get a belt. And it's like, I'm just like so hungry. And that's how I'm going in. Like I'm going in like so hungry, and I want people to really like see this and really not only because they're having that craving for wrestling, but just also see like the women out there too.
Yeah. Yes. And you're absolutely right. And Zelo's has always been a good place for that, you know, for showcasing women's wrestling at the same time. So that's really exciting as well. Well, I hope you have. I wish you the best of luck for your match on Saturday. It's not going to be an easy fight.
It's not. It's 2 out of 3 falls. I was like.
I was just about to say that it is going to be a 2 out of 3 falls, and Laynie's not going to let that title go easily. But I'm sure we're going to be entertained. It's also going to be available on Fight TV. The Show Must Go On event, Zelo Pro, this Saturday. Alex Gracia is going to be there. Thank you so much, Alex, for joining me today. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks for having me. I wore glasses so we could match today.
We did coordinate, right? Yes, we did call, and then she said, I'm doing the pink hair, and I'm like, well, I don't have time to dye. Sorry.
Okay, but
I apologize. Thank you so much, Alex. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for listening or watching. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you know the drill. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. If you're listening to us on your podcast application, leave us a review, a 5-star review, a like, a subscription. That helps out a great deal as well. Again, I'm Mr. Warren Hayes. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon.